So, Nintendo Switch, finally full reveal with price and everything a couple days ago. They had a hands-on event. I couldn't go. I was stuck back here, but you guys got to try it. So, tell me, what was it like?
It was amazing. My life will never be the same. I've transcended the mortal universe, and I've tried the Switch now.
Final answer?
No, it's all right. It's fine.
It's okay.
The Switch was interesting. I think hardware-wise, it's nice. I felt like the Joy-Con controllers were really impressive. That's something that really jumped out to me, how comfortable they were.
Interesting.
How well they came on and off.
Because that was my biggest fear, honestly, looking at them.
Nah, man.
Because, I mean, like, have you ever used like a regular size 3DS, the smaller ones?
Yes.
Those are like cramps.
Okay, so to be fair, I didn't find those. I actually liked the regular 3DS versus the XL, yeah. But even with that said, I mean, you use like an NES, right? Like, like the rough size. Like, it's fairly similar to that. It's not bad. Like, sure, I'm not gonna play Mario Kart with like a bunch of buttons for like 8 hours, but the Joy-Con by itself was fine. But specifically what really impressed me was not only how easy they are to take off and put back on, but having the Joy-Cons separated, right?
Yeah.
So with the idea, like, remember like with the Wii Remote and stuff, you would have that in the nunchuck, and it was kind of a little goofy and weird.
Felt a little weird, especially because the cable tying them together.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah.
With the Joy-Cons, you can have them both separate. So having them together either on the console, having them with the grip controller, or having them separate, there's no difference. You have the exact same buttons.
Right.
So the idea of being able to game here, or game with your arms behind your back, you can do whatever, felt super comfortable to me. Yeah, words.
Yes.
English. I know it. It was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, and it's great because it's like it's not only comfortable, but it's all cohesive and the same no matter where it is.
Yes.
So yeah, like
it's cool. The actual hardware itself was nice. The screen looked nice. I know everyone's complaining like, oh, it's only 720p. It's fine.
It's a small
great.
screen.
it looks sharp no matter what.
Absolutely.
Like we were playing Splatoon and Zelda, and it looked absolutely fine.
There's no problem, and it's funny going between the small 6-inch screen or 6.3 or whatever it is on the tablet. You drop it onto the dock, which is incredibly fast too. That's
literally in a second.
Yeah, you drop it on, take it off, super fast. But then you look at like how nice it looks on the screen. All of a sudden, it blows up to the giant, 1080p TV in front of you. You're like, all right, looks okay. But as soon as you get on that tablet, everything looks great.
Oh, yeah, because I mean, a smaller screen, there's not as much resolution.
Exactly. Yeah. So honestly, using the Switch was fun. I thought there's a lot of good stuff about it.
Yeah.
I think the hardware itself feels good. The Joy-Con controllers are by far my favorite part of the whole thing, which is not what I expected to say at all when I was going into it.
Well, honestly, I think that's the system's like strongest argument. Really, is like its base design. The idea of this easily switch between portable and home setup. That's a very easy sell to a lot of people, I think. It's just everything else needs to come out too. Then
I totally agree.
Games, good pricing,
and something else that jumped out to me is how portable it really is. So you see the pictures and everything, and you kind of assume, at least I did, that it was going to be bigger than it was.
Yeah.
With the controllers on, it's a little bit big. With the controllers off, it's not much bigger than a smartphone.
Yeah.
Like
it's like
the size of a Wii U tablet.
Smaller, much smaller.
So
thinner, but I mean it's the same like.
No.
The tablet
size.
is basically, roughly the same size as a 3DS XL.
Yes.
Like a little bit thinner and maybe a little bit more bezel, but honestly, it's not that big at all.
It felt like a large smartphone.
Right.
If you take the controllers off. I mean, so I put my 7 Plus up to it while we were playing around with it. It wasn't that much bigger. Like, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna rock the Switch in my pocket all the time. It's probably not a great idea, especially with the controllers on.
And those skinny jeans.
But thanks. But honestly, you could do it. I feel like I could fit the Switch in my pocket and like maybe put the controllers in another pocket. The portability was a lot better than I was expecting. It's a lot smaller than even like a 7-inch tablet or something.
Right.
So that was one of the things that also was kind of impressive.
Yeah, and to that point though, the controllers, I know some people are worried because they think that they're too small now. And honestly, I don't really think that's the case. I mean, granted, I'd like to think I have normal size hands.
Oh, you have huge
Well,
hands.
and then so when I think about the comfort of them and the small size, I'm not so worried about when you're holding both of them and it's this like sideways thing like the motes. It's the sideways. Because you're bunching up to like have on the shoulders and the. How does that feel? Because that's the one that worried me.
What someone told me at the event, I don't know if it was one of the guys that we were with or if it was one of the things where I was getting B-roll on my own, but he was telling me that the asymmetrical controllers are so people with big hands can use one and someone with smaller hands can use the other, and it works better for or one of them works better for.
I was curious about that because they are not the same design.
No, absolutely
the
not.
spacing is different.
I mean, they have the same buttons. They're just not the same spot.
They have the same button. It's just the spacing is different. Yeah.
My thought is, so for some of the games, for example, ARMS was a good example of one where you hold each one individually. When you're holding them individually, like in sort of vertical mode, like you would on any other controller, they're fine. I feel like I could do that all day.
Yeah.
It's only when you flip them sideways does it get a little weird. But honestly, for that, it seems like much more of a casual experience. Like, I'm going to play a couple games of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Even with the worst controller ever, I'm not going to get a cramp after 10 minutes.
Right. And the whole point of that, too, is that you do the sideways one when you want to do a local game with someone.
Right, exactly.
Is to do the whole two-player
it doesn't seem like I'm going to put 8 hours into a game with one Joy-Con flipped sideways. Like, that just doesn't seem like a thing
You've never had drinks while playing Street Fighter before.
Okay, fair point. Fair point.
So I'm of two very different minds on it. There's the personal side of me that honestly is excited. You know, I saw a lot of the games that were announced. It's more my speed. A lot of the stuff, I mean, that conference was very focused on Japanese titles and JRPGs. So, you know, all stuff I'm excited for. Xenoblade 2, great. Fire Emblem Warriors, awesome. Octopath Traveler, I really, really want to try. SMT5, huge fan, great. So that all looks good to me, and I'm excited personally, personally hyped. But then when I look at all the other news surrounding it, I can see why for most people it's a huge turnoff. And the biggest thing is pricing across the board, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would love for you to expand on that because I don't think the pricing is that bad. Now, mind you, the UK pricing is crazy.
Okay, so
that's crazy.
So here's why the pricing's bad.
Go for it.
300 is okay. That is actually not. I think 300 is okay. I think 250 would have been smarter for being like really aggressive because you need to be a like strong alternative. In the US, 300 is the same price as getting an Xbox One or a PS4.
Sure.
So
a
you're
little
not
bit more
making
now,
it cheaper.
Close enough.
So point is, the Switch pricing is fair but not incredible. The problem comes across it everywhere else. First off, they're asking for a monthly fee, which it's acceptable these days. It's just how it's going. But all they're bundling with that is here's a free NES or SNES game you get to have for the month. And then it disappears.
Yep.
So that's a great sales pitch. And then do you know the pricing on the controllers and accessories?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Joy-Con, right? The one little Joy-Con controller. Now, yes, one Joy-Con is enough for one additional player, right?
What's included, so you can break off both of them.
Right, but if you're buying a separate additional Joy-Con, one Joy-Con by itself is $50. If you want to get a two bundle.
Wait. They sell them individually?
Yes.
Individually, yes.
No, one Joy-Con controller is $50.
Yeah, and they're two different ones, obviously. So
so now obviously, if you want people to have full control with two controllers, two Joy-Cons, you can get a bundle. That's reduced price, $80. Now, of course, that's just if you want to use the two handles. If you want to be able to put it in a controller, in a grip, that will be an additional $15. So to have
it's $95.
Is $95 for a full.
But that's not
Switch
even the full
grip
thing
setup.
because isn't there two different grips?
Yes.
They're called grips, right?
There are two different grips. There is a charge grip and a regular grip. Yeah. So the regular grip's $15. And that's what you get in the system. I don't know the pricing on the charge one.
Oh, there is a charge one.
There is a charge one.
But it doesn't come with the system. The system comes with a regular rubber grip.
Yeah, because someone was complaining about the fact that it doesn't. The regular grip obviously doesn't charge it. So if it runs out of battery, your only way to charge it is to put it back on the console.
Now, on that note, I was reading that worry too, but I also found something out. Now, I've only seen this reported in an IGN video, and it wasn't Nintendo Rep saying this, but I haven't seen it anywhere else. That the reported battery life of a Joy-Con is 20 hours.
Yeah.
So unless you're just extremely negligent and you're not the kind of you fall asleep and throw the Joy-Cons on the ground and don't set the system back up.
Yeah.
Feel like you're never going to end up needing to really charge those in a day unless you're just not.
And worst case scenario, they're about to die. You put them on and you play it in tablet mode, and they will be charging even off of the internal battery. So
yeah, you'd have to have it plugged in and everything still.
I'll give you that. The accessories.
It only charges while it's plugged in. The Joy-Cons don't charge in handheld mode. Yeah, it only charges them if it's actively plugged into a dock.
I guess that's fair. The battery life is not great anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to siphon it off. Yeah, what little the system has, you don't want to siphon away.
But that just, it puts you in an awkward situation if you're in the middle of gameplay. Like, say you're playing Zelda, and, you're just going on forever, right? Or, you go to bed, but you forget to put it back on or something like that. You're in the middle of the game, and suddenly it runs out of battery. It's like you're in this awkward situation of, all right, what am I going to do now? You have to literally stop playing, put them on the Joy-Con and charge them for like whatever an hour.
I guess. This doesn't seem like a big deal.
Yeah, no, I don't.
It's not a big deal.
The charger thing isn't a big thing to me personally. That's not the problem I have. My problem is the pricing. So we've talked general thoughts on the system. We've talked about pricing and how comfortable the controllers are. But then of course the main point for any game system is games. So what did you guys play? What were your thoughts on it? What stuff was fun?
Yeah, so they had actually a lot of the games, all the launch games and most of the games that are coming out this year out. So I got to play Splatoon 2. I didn't play a ton of Splatoon 1, but it seemed very, very similar. There are like some new weapons and some new characters, but it seems similar. I liked Splatoon, so
Did it do motion controls for the looking
Yeah, so that's the thing. So all of the demos on the side where it was just tablet were all gyro. And that's just aiming gyro, not moving gyro.
Right.
But it still was a little bit hard to wrap my head around. But I was told that obviously you can change it.
Yeah,
I just didn't move.
They just love demoing it in gyro. So
Yeah.
Right. I just didn't move I just kept my hands there and just like used the sticks.
Yeah. The ideal situation is that you'd use the Pro controller. And
Right.
so that was the other half of the setups that I don't think any of us played. But I mean, the fact that you have those options, and it played really well in tablet mode, and it looked really nice. It looked, sharp enough on that 720p display. Like, I was really happy with it, and it felt like Splatoon, which I love. If you played Splatoon before, you know already, and if not, then it could be a title for you to try online for the Switch,
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you only played that and Skylanders. We can
Skylanders.
No, please tell us about Skylanders.
No, we're gonna like shift by that one. You said you played Zelda. So
I did play Zelda, yes. So I believe it was the same E3 demo. It's the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, but different
Different
platform.
hardware.
Did you play it at E3?
I did not. So this
Okay,
is my
so
very first time playing
there's
it.
no comparison to the experience between them. Damn. Oh.
Well, everyone who I talked to said it was a very similar experience. From the videos I've seen, it looked very similar to what I tried on Switch. I
Right.
know some people have said that it's like technically a little bit different, but it seemed similar. It didn't
Yeah.
seem like any huge differences. It was fun, right? So I got to do like the intro sequence. You get kind of like walk around. You get like to light things on fire and everything.
Right.
It was cool. I did notice that there were some technical slowdowns. Frame rate was
Yeah.
not amazing.
I was curious about that because that was happening with the Wii U version at E3 as well. So I was hoping that with the Switch version, now given it's still pre-release and so that can change.
So
but
we were staying in line for about 30 minutes, so I was watching someone else play, and then I played for about 20 minutes. I saw 2 major frame rate dips in that entire time. And mind you, this is pre-release, so
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not super worried.
Yeah.
Plus, it was like, during like really intense stuff,
Oh,
so like
yeah,
explosions, and all that. To note though, a lot of the ones that I noticed were on the TV mode in 1080.
good
So
point, yeah.
I'm not sure how it'll perform in 720. I would assume that it might be better.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no way for me to tell because I can't, go back and check.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
but again, it's pre-release, so they could fix that stuff. They could maybe dial things back a bit. I mean, who knows what they're going to do? But otherwise, it looked really good. I think
looked great,
it played well for the most part.
And what I really enjoyed was arms. So when I was looking at it, I'm like, this is going to be gimmicky, it's going to be lame, who cares? Then I played it and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. That and 1-2 Switch both gave me a very strong original Wii vibe.
right.
Which is cool, because I'm like, oh, look, this seems legitimately different and cool. So the way that ARMS works is, so you have the 2 controllers like in the hand, so you don't have your you have
Yeah, they have to be freeform or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. So what you do is you literally do everything, like all your motion is based on, this is your motion right here. This is the way you get into it.
I didn't know that's how you box.
Yeah, it's just like, ooh. No, so you use your motion controls to be able to actually walk and stuff, and then you do your punches. So it's like straight punches, curve punches, and there are a couple of buttons on the actual Joy-Cons themselves for like blocking and that kind of stuff.
Right.
It was a lot of fun, way more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Interesting. So, final thoughts on Switch after having hands-on. Shortest sentence you can give me.
Not totally sold yet.
Excited for potential.
It's the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm done.